everybody, what's growing on? I'm Brian Taylor, and today we're going to be talking to you about one of our favorite trees to grow here in the desert, the Jujube. So this is a small sample of the harvest we got today. We're going to tell you about our tree and hopefully convince you to get one for yourself if you like growing fruit trees here in Arizona. All right, let's get into it. See ya. All right, so the Jujube is a really fun tree to grow here in Arizona. One of the reasons why it's so fun is because it does extremely well with our heat. The sun doesn't seem to affect it. In fact, it thrives in it. The only thing I'd say the Jujube needs, it's not a completely drought tolerant tree. If you want it to be productive with fruit, you do have to give it quite a bit of water. But you could treat it like any other stone fruit. You know, it loses its leaves in the winter, so if you want to use it to protect some of your sun sensitive trees in the summertime, you can use it as a shade tree. One of our three is our Lang Jujube. And you can see this one right above us right here. It's pretty tall, but that's not even the tallest branch. The tallest branch is up near my neighbor's palm tree. And you can see we've got quite a bit of fruit right now. So the best time to pick one of these guys, let's zoom in really close at some of these fruit, is when you see the fruit is starting to wrinkle really good. Now it can definitely get drier than this, but I've found that the birds will start pecking away at it. When you get one of these fruits, you'll notice that it's very squishy to touch because it's already kind of drying out in the inside. This is when they taste more like a traditional palm tree date versus the date that you get from one of these Jujubes. So I'm gonna taste one. And the inside, you don't need to touch it. The inside of it starts to get a little bit soft, and it kind of fills with air as it is breaking down and is dehydrating. Extremely sweet, very date-like flavor. It's not as sticky as like a medjool type date, but it's still very, very good. So we have 3 of these kind of trees in our yard. And I'll give you an example. So this one has grown like a weed, and we planted it about 2 years ago, and it basically, at the time, there wasn't a lot of other trees around it, so it was getting full sun. As some of these other trees like this Shangri-La mulberry came in, these guavas started filling out. Once they started kind of competing for the sunlight, this thing just took off because they like sun, they need sun. If we come over here, come around to this one, this is my honey jar Jujube. You can see that it's got a lot of new growth this year. Some of these leaves are dying out. The one thing I will say about the honey jar Jujube is that it has a lot more shade and it's kind of choking it out. So I'll probably be transplanting it sometime in the fall once the leaves fall off. That's the best time to transplant deciduous trees. But they do require sun. They're not going to do well if you plant them in a shaded area, and since they are a tree that can take the sun, that's something great for our desert. So if we come and look over here, can we zoom in right here? Actually, another nice thing about these trees, here, come in and zoom in on these flowers. Can you see them? Get really close.
Can see them.
Okay, so walk right up to them. So these are little tiny flowers. The cool thing about these plants is they have more than one crop a year. So this particular honey jar has already had 1 crop of fruit this year, and if we're lucky, we'll end up with 2. So this is the 2nd crop we've had on our Lang Jujube. Hopefully we're going to get more. We'll take you over to our 3rd Jujube. This is the first Jujube we planted in our yard. It's a GA866. So this came from the University of Georgia. Let me pop one of these guys down. So as you can see, they are a different shape than the Lang. They're more of a pear shape. I've actually not tried one of these. Last year was the first year we got fruit, and the birds got it before I did. So this is gonna be my first attempt at trying one of these guys.
Birds even got it like this year too.
That's a lot sweeter than the Lang Jujube.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's very good. Let's see, I think I got one right here that's more in the the wrinkled kind of date form. So it seems like the more wrinkly they are, the sweeter they are. So let's try this guy. That does not disappoint. They do have a seed in the middle, so you can't just eat it.
So kind of like a stone fruit?
Kind of like a apricot or a cherry. They have a small little seed in the middle.
Even a date.
Or even a date. But very good. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick a bunch of these and take them in, share them with the family. Might even try to make a jujube pie out of them. No, we never know. We'll see.
We can't really get all of them though, because I'm gonna zoom in on this one. As you can see, the birds have gotten that one and the one below it. They've even gotten this little guy up here. They've kind of gotten a lot of them.
Yep. So you got to get them before the birds do, but hopefully someday we'll have so many that we're not even worried about the birds. So if you want to get a good plant that takes the heat really well, highly recommend the jujube. I call it a jujube. My wife calls it a jujube, and I know other people call it different things, but it's a jujube. I like that. It's not the candy, it's the fruit. So hopefully you like this video. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. We can do follow-up videos on this tree. But if you like our channel, please subscribe. We love making these videos and sharing them with you. Thanks.